What's good, YouTube? I'm your boy Brandon. So if you don't know who I am, I'm actually a clothing brand owner for a brand called Highly Flavored that stands for diversity and helping each other out. But I also am not just a clothing brand owner that looks out for my own brand. I actually help people with their own brand, and I teach people the process of DTF when it comes to these Epson 8550 printers. Now, first, I'm actually going to do a series on how to troubleshoot the printer. So I know if you're new here, then this might be a little backwards for you, but I'm actually coming from TikTok. My main page is Stay Highly Flavored, and you can kind of see me there on TikTok. And you can probably see it in the description down below. I'll make sure I drop the link. But first, I wanted to get into troubleshooting so that way you can make sure that you get vivid prints every time. This shirt actually came from this printer right here. I made everything in-house. As you can see, everything is done in-house, from hoodies to t-shirts. So if you want to learn from me, I'm the guy when it comes to starting your business at home. So let's get into it, and let's get into troubleshooting. Let's look into the first step that I need you to look into if you're getting smears, paper jams, or your printer just isn't working and giving you the prints that you want on every single print. Let's get into it. All right, so first I kind of want to show you an example of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about paper jams and your prints not printing. So I'm actually going to use this printer right here to my right. I actually run with two printers, but this printer to my right actually sometimes gives me problems where I have to start printing with tape because it gives me paper jam errors and things of that nature. And it's random, but I could show you a quick fix on how to fix it if these type of things happen to you, and how you can quickly adjust and still get prints out for your business. All right, so I'm actually going to use the DTF paper right here. All right, and I'm gonna put it into the back side of this Epson 8550. Like I said, I am the person to go to when it comes to learning how to do DTF printing from this, where you can make your own t-shirt transfers from the house. But there is some troubleshooting that you may have to do at times, and I'm also the person to learn from. So let's get into it. So right now I'm trying to print without tape. You can see it's printing, and this is what would happen. You would get a paper jam error right away, or sometimes you may get an actual thin line printing only. So instead of the entire image printing, it'll just be a thin line printing down the middle of the image. And I know that could be extremely frustrating. So let's get into the resolution real quick. All right, so when you pull your paper out the pack, the side that's facing you will always say print side. So this is the side that you need to print on. The back side is the side that you will not print on at all. So this is very important to remember when I tell you this step. So when you pull your paper out of the package, let's just pretend I pulled this out the pack. This would be my print side, right? And this is my back side. On my back side, we're actually going to put painter's tape. So you will need painter's tape for this, and I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do, all right? Now, a lot of people, they try to rip their painter's tape off, and they try to measure it, and they try to put it on like that. Do not do that. Do not do that at all, because what happens is that way is more likely to create air bubbles and wrinkles and things of that nature. And you do not need that, because if you have an air bubble or a wrinkle in the paper, then that's going to create smears. So you're actually hurting yourself when you put your tape on that way. So this is the best way that I found when putting tape on. So let me show you. So what I do is I start my tape at the end of the table, and I just come all the way over. all right? And you want to make sure before you smooth it down that it's completely flat and that you don't have any wrinkles at all right? And this is going to be really important. So you want to leave just a little space, just enough room for you to be able to grab it. But what's going to happen is in this software CAD link, we're going to make sure that our image actually starts printing up in this area. So if your image is printing below the tape, then you're actually not getting the benefit of using the tape, because the tape allows the printer to see, because you know the printer is a regular inkjet printer, so sometimes the printer doesn't know how to read this transparent paper, because you see the paper is see-through, right? So what happens is, because it's see-through, some printers don't have a strong enough printer scanner to be able to read it. So what you have to do is use the tape. And basically what I'm doing now is just cutting off my ends. And that's it. Just cut off your ends. You don't want any extra ends hanging off. And when you're done, your tape should pretty much look like this all the way through. There should be no wrinkles in your tape. There shouldn't be any air bubbles or anything of that nature. You should be pretty much looking at a straight piece of tape and a straight piece of paper. All right, so let's go back to our printer and let's make sure we insert our paper the correct way. So remember, the print side should always be facing you. The print side should always be facing you. And you always want to keep smoothing it out, because you want to make sure that there's no air bubbles or anything like that. But you want to put the print side facing you and the actual tape facing the back of the printer. All right. Now we're going to try that same print again. So I'm not even going to hit anything on the printer. I'm not going to hit anything on CAD link. I'm just going to hit next and hit done. And then it's going to try to process the print again. And we're going to see if we get success this time. All right. And what I'm going to do is open up the printer so we can see. Now, this method works also for people that's having smears or thin prints down the middle. So let's get into the printer and let's look at it together. All right. So you see this time, instead of me getting a paper jam error, it's actually starting to print. You see the printer is actually printing the image exactly how we want to. So like I said, you have to make sure that the print, the actual image, is on the tape. So if it's printing below the tape, then you're going to have problems. So you got to make sure the print is actually printing on the actual tape. And you see now we don't have the issue of it printing a thin image. So I hope this helps, and keep following me for more tips. And we're going to move into part 2 as to why you might be experiencing smears after we achieve this. Okay.